Okay, good evening, everybody. This is Dan Craven for Good Sports, the Next Generation, and you haven't seen us since November. For all you people out there that are taking toll or keeping score. Hey, we got a great show tonight. I'm going out of bounds, so to speak, for myself, and I'll explain that a little bit. But let's go ahead and introduce our guests. Again, to my immediate right, DJ, welcome aboard as always.
Good to be here as always.
Good to have you. Co-host Duane Kohler on the end. You might have to. I like your camouflage today, there, dude.
My wife told me I'm setting a new, fashion trend. So Chef Lisa Beck, that helps with the show. We're setting a new trend for
we
that.
We like fashion trends, and that's good. I'm glad to have. We're gonna actually have some subject matter up your alley tonight, so to speak. So hang in there. I think it's gonna be exciting. And we got two special guests tonight. And as we know, this is the post Super Bowl show, at least for the first half, and then we have some fun later. I think what we're going to do is let me introduce my other two guests, and then we'll give you a round of what's going to happen. To my immediate left, Eric Henry, welcome aboard.
We're the only Patriots fan in Crawford County.
Eric is obviously a Patriots fan, and he's going to give us his side and maybe the real side of what the Patriots are thinking about from the Super Bowl. And then all the way down on the end, a familiar face of TV, Lon Wilson, welcome.
That's right, the camera loves me, and I love it back.
I know, Lon, it's been a while. Huh?
Yeah, it has. It's actually,
Since we've been on...
Yeah, the lack of lawn. I keep seeing every time I see the title to the show, I'm like, you guys just can't let it go.
No, we really can't. So that's good that we can't. But we're moving right along here. So anyways, what we're going to do tonight, we're going to try to have a 3-segment type show. We're going to have a Super Bowl segment. We're going to talk about the Super Bowl and some NFL stuff in general. And then we're going to go to a second segment. It's going to be called Agree or Disagree or True and False. And basically what happens is I read a statement and everybody gets a chance to answer. They either agree with it or disagree with it, and they say why. And some of the statements are, I don't even know if you can agree or disagree with them, but we'll play along. And if we have time, we're going to bring back something that Lon introduced to this show when it was just basically Good Sports. When we used to have the blue ribbon panel, it's everybody might get a final comment. They can say whatever they want.
Panel.
Remember
That's
that?
right, yeah.
Yeah. So if we have time for that, hopefully we do. We'll kind of bring that back into circle. Everybody will get a chance to talk about whatever they want at the end of the show. Okay, here we are. Super Bowl show, right after the Super Bowl. First of all, I got to tell you, now, some of you people out there, I'm going to get riff-raff and flick-flack and, oh, you told me you weren't going to do it. I was boycotting the NFL this year, and I don't want to go into all the reasons why. In fact, I didn't even see any of the Super Bowl, so me hosting this show is not going to be real good. So I'm relying on all my guests here to be able to pull me through this nightmare, and I got a funny feeling this is going to be okay.
Dan, a big part of the reason why the NFL, their ratings were down this year is because it's on opposite Crawford County outdoors. And so,
I knew there was a reason.
That's we smoking them,
I knew something. Well, maybe I should have watched that. But anyways, long story short, so we're going to get into the Super Bowl stuff. But the first question I have, and everybody's going to get a chance to answer, I was going to throw it out there. Did the Minnesota venue sell? I mean, they did it one time in Detroit, but the winter thing, and I know they had a lot of sled riding, and somebody probably got hit with a snowball and is going to get sued, but they had ice sculptures and everything else. But Duane, we'll start with you, and we'll kind of just go around. I mean, do you think that 2 degrees before kickoff, I mean, was that a good venue for something like that? I mean, usually, you're not in Florida where you're running around in shorts. What's your opinion about that?
I would say no. We've got lots of opportunities to be around cold. Maybe I'm a little spoiled by Northwest Pennsylvania, but it seems like Jacksonville or Miami or Southern California would be a nice thing. But
so you didn't think it was a good venue?
No, I don't.
That's okay. You're entitled. That's what makes this show so nice. What do you think? You're
I guess I'll take the opposite side of it. I mean, it's nice to have the warm weather and everything like that, but I think us northern folks that we like the cold weather. But the game's played in a dome, so what's it matter what everybody else is? I mean, I understand it's the environment and people go there for the whole thing and, halftime shows and this and that, but, you're there to watch a football game, and the football game is actually in a temperature-controlled environment. What if it rains down in Jacksonville? Or what if it's foggy or whatever the case may be? I think it's great. I think it's fine. I don't think there's a problem with it. It's in a dome. What's the big deal?
You're going to you got a place play outside?
That's yeah. So what if you got
the frozen tundra?
That's what I don't understand. I mean, we talk about all these things that happen.
In Pittsburgh.
You play an AFC Championship game, you play an NFC Championship game outdoors in the elements, regardless of whoever it is. I know it's a hosting thing. Why not play something outdoors? Let's go play one at Lambeau.
I'm okay with that. Eric, what do you think? Was it a success? Yes, no?
I'm kind of lean towards no, because I think that when people spend a lot of money on tickets, $4,000 or $5,000, hey now, the outcome, $4,000 or $5,000 for a ticket, I'd like to enjoy the weather. If I spend $5,000 to watch a football game, I think I'd like to enjoy the weather. But other than that, I don't have a problem with them really hosting it other places, and I'd be okay for an outdoor game. Of course, it'd be great. So
Maybe at Cleveland next year.
Oh, yeah, that'd
Oh
be.
boy,
Yeah, they might have
some excitement over
Yeah,
there.
they might have a playoff game. What do you think, Lon? Yes,
Well,
no?
I mean, only X amount of so many people can show up because the fan base and what they're going to fill the stadium with, and then the hookers or whatever that follows into town may have had a little bit more of a difficulty getting there. But I mean, if you take a look at it, like Indianapolis did, it's the small city. Minnesota did the same thing. They did a beautiful thing. They got, I think, 10,000 volunteers out into the streets. They were hosts. Hey, this is what to do. Talking with my friend Drew, who had an absolute ball up there with his son. Went to the Super Bowl. So, sometimes paying homage to the smaller markets like in Minnesota and that facility, I don't mind it at all. Getting back to what DJ said with the outdoor element, you get so many cranks that complain. Why let the elements take away from the game and make that the difference? Well, that's somebody who's played football south of the Mason-Dixon line all their life.
Yeah.
And
well, last one was Seattle and Denver. That was outside New York City. It was outside.
Yeah.
And frankly, these are professionals, and for me, the venue really doesn't, make that big. It was a beautiful facility.
Well-
so I mean,
The rumor I heard, the Chamber of Commerce of Minnesota didn't want the Vikings to win because they sell less hotel rooms.
right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, how's that? Like, okay, guys,
Right.
nice job, but see about losing next week. Well, they did, so it wasn't much of a
Yeah, the
problem.
ratings were down, I think, 10 million this year. It was its lowest since 2009.
Yeah, that's great.
So, but the streaming is up, but the actual viewership was down. So,
With regards getting to the game itself, I mean, where the heck was the defense? I'm told it was like, where it was almost like a Pro Bowl or something. We're going to start over here with Lon and go the other way. I mean, it was like no defense. Why didn't they just it was like
Well-
magnetic football,
well, credit to the Philadelphia Eagles. They stuck with their game plan and they stuck with the pressure. And all it took was one defensive play to make the difference in the game. And it was sticking to that one, scheme for 50 minutes plus until they finally got that one play. When
Right.
they stripped Tom Brady. And, Tom Brady and all the weapons he has, the over, I think it was 45 points, 48
48
points.
and a half.
48 and a half was the over on that. They
They
blew
did.
that away.
Oh, in the third quarter. There was
So-
like 5 minutes left to go in the third
So
quarter.
Vegas knew something was going to happen there. We knew it too. I mean, the first 8 games of the season, New England had a pretty rough, go at it on defense. They improved vastly. They were stingy in the red zone. But Philadelphia, God bless them. I mean, they came out and they kept the throttle down and kept it going where Atlanta couldn't finish it, where Pittsburgh couldn't finish it. They did what you had to do
Right.
to beat the New England Patriots. So,
Well, how about
Eric, take it away.
Yeah, Eric, what do you think? I mean, what was
We have a small problem. We had a little inside issue with Malcolm Butler, and there's a lot of things going through the news feed. Maybe a little bit of marijuana involved. There might be
No.
yeah, potentially. He was late for a couple meetings. He was drunk. He went to a Khalifa party. We heard the other day. That was yesterday's comment.
I was at that party.
I don't know, maybe you were there too, but
Yeah.
he's an integral part of our defense. He actually is probably top 1 or 2 defenders. And,
Plus to the special
but you
teams.
gotta understand something. The coach is always like that. He once suspended Wes Welker when he made fun of Rex Ryan's foot fetish. He gave him 3-game suspension for making fun of Rex Ryan. So he does stick to his game, but it's the Super Bowl, and there's a lot of upset Patriot fans, I can tell you that. So
I
they
get
kind of wish the whole team would have been there, but I would have liked to seen some more defense. That was pretty
Speaking
sad.
of defense, did Harrison play at all?
He did
Oh, yeah.
play. He did. He had some
actually
pressure,
had
but he didn't
some
do
pressure.
bad.
Yeah.
He may have been one of the better linemen we had, I think, actually.
He actually, there was a couple plays in there where he disrupted some things and did what a pro does, and
He did miss a couple tackles though that looked pretty bad on the end.
he
on
did.
the
His
edge,
arms
yeah.
are so big.
Yeah, he couldn't
get
to him. So.
anymore.
It's like, yeah. So what do you think, Deej? I mean, what as far as Tom Brady has over 500 yards and 3 touchdowns. You bet the mortgage he wins that game.
Yeah, you would think so. I mean, there was only one punt in the entire
Yep.
game.
Yeah,
that's
I mean,
the other- that's crazy.
That is pretty crazy. And the fact that there was 5 points basically right off the board in the first couple quarters, you
Right.
think they're over, maybe doesn't even have a chance. But I can tell you one thing, that it was, from an outsider, not being a Philadelphia fan and not being a New England fan, to some of the two teams that I hate the most, it was the most exciting game I think I've ever watched. I mean, and again, offense is going to sell from a viewership standpoint. So the fact that the ratings were down, I think, is everything was predetermined that they're not going to watch it. But if you did actually tune in, there were people that, I mean, you were excited about that game.
Yeah,
it was a very exciting game.
I'd say next to the Steeler Cardinal Super Bowl, this was the best Super Bowl I've ever seen.
Not me. Best Super Bowl all time. Bart Starr plunging her in. 1 yard to go on the frozen tundra.
You and Duane were the only ones around then.
Touchdown, Green Bay! That was a great game. Mine is 40 degrees or whatever.
So you went old school.
Oh,
I love that.
that was in Lambeau Field.
I don't know.
They had
I
home
wasn't
field
alive.
advantage.
That's right, yeah, they won the
Were you
first
done?
two
I mean, interrupt on my plunge. Right behind the guard. Gary Kramer.
That's
number
right.
66.
Boy, you know your stuff.
Oh, do I?
These kids, kill him.
Boyd Dollar came to the game drunk all the time. Anyways,
Duane, what do you think? What do you
yeah,
think?
do it. Get on with it. Get on
So
with it.
I have two favorite teams, the Steelers, and then whoever's playing against New England.
Seems to be a theme in Northwestern Pennsylvania. I put it
Yeah,
correctly.
Yeah. So the thing that kind of struck me about the game was it's like the referee swallowed the whistles.
It certainly did.
There was
Let 'em play.
There was a whole lot of running up the receiver's back that seemed like it was going on both sides the whole time.
I think they got it right.
They did, yeah.
Well, personally, I like it that way.
Yeah.
I like it when there's not whistles in every other play, and I was then that usually. Now, granted, I have a bias against New England, so I'm always like, why does New England always get the favor? And it didn't happen this time.
No, they got no calls. No.
So and really neither did Philly, except for maybe that I was curious about that. So that I'm thinking of the Jesse James play against New England. When the
Touchdown.
Steelers played with a couple weeks to go,
Yeah,
and
when
then
they dropped
almost the
pass,
identical
yeah.
play
Yeah.
when Philly, and it scores and it changes the
Well,
game on both sides.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had 3 steps and established as a runner, and I
So did-
saw that
so did
before.
Jesse James.
I don't know what Chris Collinsworth was looking at.
Yeah, I don't
I
either.
saw that, and him and Al Michaels is better than that, and that disappointed me with Al Michaels. He's better than that.
And Chris Collinsworth hates the Patriots. You got to
Well, Chris Collins hates everybody.
When he
Yeah, he
agrees, though,
does.
I mean,
He even,
Except for the
he even
Bengals,
hates
yeah.
Chris Collinsworth.
yeah, true.
Did you like
But
the
I was disappointed with Al Michaels because there's a couple times where he bit off on that. I'm like,
Yeah.
guys, I mean, even like the bobble in the end zone, for the rookie running back.
Right, yeah.
He actually established it and got 2 feet down and then
Right.
bobbled.
Again, I
So, I
was less confused actually in that game than I was in almost any other game you
Yeah.
watched this season.
Right.
I mean, because like you said, he had control of it. It was awkward, but he had control of it 2 feet down, and then he completes the catch.
I
What's
think they're
the-
both
what's the problem?
touchdowns. I do, yeah.
Yeah, I think that they.
I still think Jesse
they stuck
James
their
is a
name on it.
touchdown.
Well, I think what they're going to, everybody's going to change the rule. But here's the simple. They're trying to make it too difficult. Like if you're a runner, you can, let it, hit the ground and all this other craziness. But if you're a pass receiver, you're not allowed to do that. Here's the simple rule. If you show any type of control, as soon as it breaks the goal line, it's over.
That's what
And
it should
everything's
be.
it's a done deal.
Instead, you got to make what's called a football move.
To survive the ground.
And Duane, I don't know what a
What's
football.
is this?
Well,
Was
what
that
you,
a football move?
what you did on the floor, that was a football.
That was a
move.
football move.
You just survived the ground
off
down
the
there.
ground and running 3 steps.
Yes.
That's got to be a football move, Both Jesse James and the Philly guy, did that. So
Yeah.
now why is it a touchdown in one case and not in another case? That's the part that bugged.
Now you have to admit, if they overturn either one of those, you Steeler fans would all be complaining today. I just want you to know. I know they would be. So.
We're still complaining.
Yeah,
I
I know.
admit it. I'm still complaining.
Do you realize, I don't know what the real history is, but my guess is, if we're going back to rugby, hence the name touchdown, my guess is at some point in the game, once you crossed the line, you had to touch
put
the
the ball
ball
down.
on the
Yeah.
ground. So if Jesse James touched the ball on the ground, but because he was a pass receiver, not a runner, it doesn't make a difference. Anyways, they're going to change that rule. Cats are going to sleep with dogs. It's going to be okay.
Mike Tomlin was on the rules committee, and he had a
Oh,
chance
gosh.
to turn that over, and he
Mike
didn't.
Tomlin.
And
Well, that's
so
another
I mean, I don't blame Tomlin at all. That's kind of
Far
but still.
stretch a little bit, yeah.
Well, we're going to look at the film, we'll make corrections, and we'll be ready for him next week. I could do the interview. I could do the post-game
Yeah, sure you
interview.
can. We're 100%
I know.
confident next week.
All right, so the question is, one of the questions is, or is, whatever the English is, did the Eagles win or did the Patriots lose?
According to Giselle Bundchen, what did she told her
Gazillion.
kids?
Wait, who?
Giselle, his wife, Giselle Brady,
Brady's
said
wife.
it was nice that your daddy let the Eagles win,
Yeah.
more or less. That was her
That's
explanation.
what she said.
That's what you tell little kids, though. I mean, come on.
No, you don't.
Oh,
You
yes.
tell them the
Yeah.
truth.
Tell them the truth.
Let them grow up.
We did let them.
There's a winner and there's a loser. You lose.
They
But
love
still,
their
your
dad.
mom's Giselle
I
Bungey,
guess
your dad's Tom
some of the-
Brady.
some of the-
Oh.
Some of the plays that come to my mind, of course, Brady, nobody gets to Brady that often. When he does, he did make the fumble. I mean, somebody alluded to that earlier. And the other one is that their quarterback made a catch, and Tom Brady kind of had,
That's true.
he had T-Rex arms or
Yeah.
something. He couldn't get to the ball. I mean, he makes that catch, that's a whole nother game. So, I mean, I don't know. I'm just wondering. Somebody else says, well, Matt Patricia, he's thinking about Detroit. Now, I don't think that's true. But
That's not true.
That's not
you know,
true.
you got people.
He's a
going,
total pro.
Oh, he is, and so's the other guy. So I don't
Josh.
think, yeah. So I don't know. Some people were thinking that it was just a rough day for the Pats. Which, by the way, as you know, they tied a record in that. They not only got the sixth Super Bowl, but they got their 5th loss.
That's right. I'm okay
But-
with that. 5 wins and 5 losses doesn't sound that bad.
No, but give us some of the other. I mean, there's some pretty good. They got some pretty good numbers too. Let's
Yeah.
not just down-mouth the Pats here. Give us some of those numbers.
Well, I mean, if you look at
You
just
just talked
Tom
about
Brady
earlier.
himself,
Tom Brady, yeah.
one half of his career has been spent in the Super Bowl. I mean,
One half, that's
8
pretty
out of
impressive.
16 years.
Yep.
12 out of 16 years has been the AFC Championship game. I mean,
That's
that's
amazing.
crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's
I mean,
impressive.
And only half of that time he was cheating, so we're good.
He now owns,
Well,
he's now
I hate to deflate you, but yes, sometimes
the
we'll talk about
wholly
that.
owner of the second most Super Bowl losses of any quarterback.
That is correct. He is.
All right.
Yeah,
so,
Jim Brady's like, phew.
Yeah.
So we beat up the catch
that
rule.
right,
but
Jim Brady?
Jim Kelly. It's
Jim
okay.
Kelly. Why do I call him
Kelly.
Jim
'Cause
Brady?
you hate Brady so much.
He's
Just
from
don't
East
you, Matt.
Brady. No,
Yeah,
he's from
East Brady, that's right.
Yeah.
He is from East. That's
Yeah,
right.
outside of
Pennsylvania.
Bethlehem.
Yeah.
I've been there. It's very
Little.
quick stop.
Yeah.
Get right out of there.
Keep going.
Keep going.
Thank you.
So, getting more into the Patriots, because I think it's just kind of like everybody likes talking the Patriots. Either on the good side, if you either like them or you hate them. But do you think the love triangle stay together? The Kraft, Belichick, Brady crew. I mean, do they, or is there now is this a good start for them to be breaking apart? Duane, what do you think? We'll start with you on this one. I mean, and the reason why I bring that up is because rumor has it, we all heard at the beginning of the year, Brady goes to Kraft. He doesn't like the backup guy because he's edging him in. I'm going to be here till I'm 45 because I'm doing wonder drugs or whatever he's doing. and now his wife saying, no, you're not going to play till 45. He says, but do you think, they're going to stick together? Some of you
I keep waiting for like maybe now or a year from now or 2 years from now, like what happened, how the Patriots cheated last year to get Atlanta, to hack their signal somehow and figure out what was going on, or have someone lip reading, every sport, the coach is holding something in front of us, not because of the Patriots, right? So to me, I'm never gonna be.
But I mean, put that aside. Do you think they're going to stick together? I mean, don't you see this? There's turmoil here.
Tell us how you really feel. Answer the question, Tom.
Because you got Brady
To
going
me,
behind
they have
Belichick's back.
The Cheatriots have something going on. So they don't want to break that up. They got
All right, so you say they'll stick
their thing
around.
going.
You don't think this will be a new TV series?
He already got one
Yeah.
that you
Which
couldn't
one?
find. That one on Facebook. His little series on Facebook.
Oh, no kidding.
Tom Brady. Oh yeah.
Tom versus time. Yeah.
Yeah,
Tom
Tom
versus
versus
time.
time.
It's
great-
matter
it's
of
great.
fact,
Oh, he's a great father. I
he
mean,
told
it's just
Giselle he's going to win 2 more Super
it's right to
Bowls.
the heart. Let me tell
I
you.
think
Well,
you
yeah,
should count this one.
I mean, do you think they'll
He's
stick
got this
around? I mean, this is a good chance for things to break up.
Yeah, I don't know if it's I don't know. I don't think it's a great. I don't think any time is going to be a good time for them. I mean, to be honest with you, I think they're going to probably stick around. But if I had to put a sizable money on it, I think I would just say, you know what, they might part ways with Brady, because how many quarterbacks, how many
Oh, that's
superstars have
interesting.
ended their careers in opposite uniforms than what they spent most of their career with? I mean, some guy named Joe Montana did it.
Yes.
I mean, now granted, there was a guy named Steve Young right behind him, but
Franco Harris.
Well,
did it,
Montana
too.
went to Kansas City.
yeah, but I mean, yeah, well, that's my point.
Franco
That's what I'm
Harris
saying. I
did
mean,
too.
he
Franco
ended
Harris
up.
went to Seattle.
There's a lot of great superstars. So it has happened before. It's not like
Yeah.
it's something that's unprecedented.
O.J.
completely.
Simpson, where'd he end up? Jail. I'm just kidding. All right. So let's go. Moving on. Now, what do you think? What do you think? I mean, you probably have the
Well,
best
I mean,
news out of anybody.
I see a lot of anger on that side. I get that. I mean, when you've lost, 9 of the last 12 games against the Patriots, of course you're going to feel like that. I understand it. It's fine. I mean, they have your number. They're in their head. That's the problem. But
Cheating.
and that's the problem. It's got to find something else. We call it whatever you want. I call it loser gate. That's what I call you guys when we said deflate gate. That's what it is. The Steelers. But actually, I think he has. I actually watched the series, and it's a pretty cool series to see what he does. But I think I'd give him 2 years. I think that Giselle is the key because she's pretty much cracking the whip saying, like, look, I want you home. And I think that I don't know what else he wants to accomplish. I really don't. I don't think that number 6, which I know the Steeler fans covet, so you can use that for an excuse everywhere, which I know like the Pittsburgh Steeler dad said the other day, you can use it for excuse to park at the Olive Garden in the delivery area. 6, that's what they do. But in the end, I think that he has nothing else to really accomplish. I really don't think he does. I think he when he doesn't want the passion anymore in his life for football, I think he'll get out of it.
So why did he get rid of the backup guy then?
Garoppolo.
I think there's some credit to that story.
Yeah,
that
there
they
probably is.
I'll be honest with you. I think just knowing how the schematics of the whole thing works, I have to admit there probably is some credit to it. However, what he said made sense, except for if Tom Brady was going to quit his career or end his career anywhere, it'd have been the 49ers. He was there for the catch and candlestick with Joe Montana. He loves the 49ers. That's when he first loved football. He would have went there. And actually, I wish he kind of would have. And I'm one of the few fans who would say that because that would be kind of like his dream to finish with the 49ers.
Right.
It may have took less of the tarnish off of his career by ending there, maybe.
Well, it's a good thing Colin Kaepernick left because he would have had to sit behind Colin. Because we know why he was in the NFL. He's all about throwing it deep. Anyways, long we didn't get to you. Do you think the love triangle is going to stick together?
Absolutely, 100%. I mean, they've already committed to next year. In fact, even their offensive coordinator is saying, I don't know if I'm going to leave now.
Let me ask you.
I think it's 100% you're going to see him for 2 or 3 more years.
That
Tom Brady. Here's Tom Brady. Duane, you never see the man on commercials. He's not an endorsement. He's not a baby face. This guy only knows one thing, and that's football. Edelman's one of his best friends. He's going to come back. He wants to win a title with Edelman again.
He did mention that. He'd want to go without Edelman anymore, so.
Well, how about...
I mean,
but he's a competitor, right? I mean, he wants to win it with Edelman. That's okay.
I mean,
but
what does he
just
have
wants to keep
going
winning.
on other than football? I mean, he's got the girl, he's got the kids, he's got the house. I mean, his wife makes more money than him.
She makes more money than he does, right? That's why he takes pay cuts all the time.
Right, and he's in a really good situation in his life. He's healthy. He had another good year where he didn't have any major injuries.
Do you think Kraft will wear a different shirt and tie? That blue shirt with that white collar and that red tie.
That young girlfriend likes that. So
that's his go-to move.
He likes it.
Yeah.
You know, when you have a pretty girl tell you she likes that shirt, you wear that shirt every day.
Sure you wear.
When you're 80, you wear that shirt. That's right.
How about the halftime? Did you ever watch that halftime?
Sure did.
Did you like it?
Oh yeah.
Apparently, he dropped the microphone somewhere. I missed that.
I don't know. I'm a big.
They said there was a debacle. He dropped the microphone.
Like on purpose or
accidentally?
I didn't catch that part.
No, I didn't.
Well, I'm a big Justin. I'm a big Justin Timberlake fan, and I've taken some heat.
You really?
Well, he's a great entertainer. I mean, he's a phenomenal entertainer.
Well, you probably name 3 songs.
Huh?
Name 3 songs.
Bringing Sexy Back.
Can you say that
I'm
one
gonna
again?
dance. Oh yeah.
Say it 3 times. No.
What's that?
Say that
Say it
same
3
song
times.
3 times.
And
You
then
really
Senorita.
are.
And
You
Senorita.
like him.
There you go.
Yeah.
He was waiting for a wardrobe malfunction from Justin, but he never got it, so he was over.
No,
he took a
dance.
shot.
Oh, that was from.
Let me tell you what. Like when Bruno Mars was on there, like the only reason I watched the Grammys was to watch Bruno.
Oh, I
Mars.
like Bruno Mars.
I'm a fan of music, and
I like Bruno Mars.
I think Justin Timberlake's a funny guy.
Yeah,
he
He's
is
a good
funny.
he
entertainer.
actually did pretty good, I think.
All that stuff on SNL. You know, the one part that I like.
Dance.
The one part I liked the best was at the end. I think it was a little bit more staged than I would have if it would have been a little bit more spontaneous of him to go up into the crowd and do the selfie. Now I think that was staged. I do think it was, but I think it would have been cool if it wasn't staged. Right. Just go up and just take random selfies.
I don't think they can afford to not stage something like that.
But why? What's it going to do? Somebody's going to take a pen out and stab him in the neck? I mean, what's going to happen?
You have Looney Tunes. I mean, I wouldn't trust the audience.
But it's Looney Tunes. But we're watching football. It's not like somebody
I
hope he comes up
know
here.
I could control myself. I mean, I'd be like, take
I
myself. I
gotta believe all those people that are around the stage. Those are all choreographed dancers. They shuffle those people.
Well, they
Those
get
aren't
themselves a bunch of volunteers and interns and give them a glow stick and rush the stage and act like a knob.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Right? They have this thing.
You will cheer for Justin.
I know.
Right,
See, they
right.
don't need that.
Yeah.
They don't need that with the if the guy, the entertainer, the woman, the man is good. They don't need that.
Well, that's to keep the goofballs, like you said.
Except Gwen
close.
Stefani and Shania Twain when they did the Super Bowl. Ugh. I'd rather eat dry hamburger helper.
Or it was falling asleep.
Even though I'm a Gwen Stefani fan, I was just like, oh.
Let me ask another question. Moving on here. We're going to start over here with Duane. Why is it when the fans win a big game, they ruin the city they live in? Seriously. Somebody write in. Here's our email address. I don't understand
that's the
that.
angry
That
thing.
seems to be a Philly thing and a Detroit thing, and just a few places. That's not everybody.
I would agree to that.
I-
Well, they set the
and
place
I
on
missed
fire.
the darn. I wanted to see that, and I missed the coverage of all the fires and everything. So
They
I-
jumping on cars and.
Oh.
Yeah, right. I was told that the police greased the poles
Yeah.
so they
Yeah.
couldn't climb up the
Crisco,
poles and
yeah.
break
You know-
up.
you know
And they
the-
still climbed them anyways and broke stuff. And,
After Crisco, they tried hydraulic fluid.
Oh yeah,
That didn't
hydraulic.
work either.
That's right. Yeah, it didn't work.
That's really true? I didn't know.
Yeah.
Oh
they
yeah.
did.
Oh,
They did.
absolutely.
They were the paint roller. They're out there up and down. Yeah.
What's wrong with a fire hose?
Yeah, right. Yeah,
Gotta
right.
get 'em off the pole. I mean, why do people do that? That's just craziness, right?
Well, they
there.
ransacked a convenience store.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff is
Lit a
so
car on
asinine.
fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it
Philly
makes
has,
no
they
sense.
have a district
It's a
justice.
city of brotherly
They have a
love.
district justice in the football stadium after every game.
That is true, I
Yes,
heard
that
that.
saves a lot of time. You know, they can just go ahead and put
Just
people
book 'em
in-
right there.
just put them right in the system right from the game since their misbehavior. You know.
I mean, these are the people that boo Jesus. I mean, Philadelphia Eagles fans, there's nothing redeeming. I mean, how about, you look at the coach and the players coming out, glory to God and, professing their faith
Yeah.
and different things like that. I'm like, you're like a shining beacon in Philadelphia amongst a bunch of Philistines and heathens. I mean,
Well, do they have a
No.
chance to repeat?
oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they got a chance.
I
Everybody's
mean,
got a
well,
chance.
It's
yeah, everyone's
tough.
a chance. But I mean, do they
Interesting
have a
part about
better
that
than?
story is that their backup quarterback now is a big star, and what's going to happen
He's
there?
gonna make some
you know?
big money somewhere. I
Yeah,
think.
somebody's gonna pay him.
He's probably going to get. Yeah, he's probably going to get the big bucks.
Yeah.
Someone told me, I heard someone who's a Giants fan. He was all nervous. They're going to try to make a trade with Cleveland so they could get Barkley in Philly. Why? They don't need a running back in Philly, do they?
I
wouldn't
don't know.
No, Jay Ajayi and
I don't know.
Garrett Blunt. I mean,
Yeah,
Like,
but what
Garrett's a
about,
free agent. He might come back.
as long as he's laying off the devil's lettuce,
Yeah,
I mean, he's all right.
as long as him and Le'Veon are driving in a car in Pittsburgh somewhere.
I was really impressed with that. What was that number 30? That was it Clement or
That
Clement,
yeah,
yeah.
I mean, he was
The
really
rookie
good.
running back could catch
He
and
made
run.
that catch.
Yeah, he made that catch, but I
So-
mean, man, he just kept on.
They've got themselves a
moving.
gem. I mean, some of their weapons came out of the woodwork. I mean, Nelson Aguilar had a nice run in the second half, and
I think your man Barkley's doomed to Cleveland. I just want you to know. I hate to
Yeah,
tell you.
it's
You keep telling me that, but I think it's worth going.
You know, I think I think that quarterback in Southern Cal, not to get off the subject, but we're off the subject because I can do it because I'm the host. And I think the reason why he played so poorly against Ohio State is so that Cleveland overlooks him.
Yeah.
Because he's really not that bad.
Yeah, I think I'm just terrible. Don't pick me.
Yeah, right. Don't pick me.
He's not really
please.
that bad. I mean, the Cleveland Browns.
yeah, well, you got Kirk Cousins on the market too.
Yeah,
which
Kirk
they're going to
Cousins.
try to franchise
Case
him.
Keenum.
Yeah, Case Keenum. They're going to try to franchise these guys and
Yeah.
trade them, which is smart.
Yeah,
When
get,
is the
get
draft
something.
day?
Get some
It's in
value
April,
for
so
them.
third week in
Yeah.
April or something.
But Cleveland's in a position to actually make a deal.
They do.
I'll
the
tell you, they
draft
need
was
Kevin
there.
Costner. And that's the only way they're
Kevin
going to
Costner, yeah.
Draft day, good movie. You got to watch it. Yeah, he might make some deals.
But you know what though? We got to give props to Doug Peterson, the coach of Phillies, and you know you do too. The Eagles. That guy.
Yeah, he was amazing. He was.
I mean, outcoached one of the best
Yep,
coaches
he,
in the NFL
he definitely
history.
outcoached him. You know what he didn't do? He didn't let off the gas. He didn't care. He just went.
Yeah, we've had that.
His
conversation.
players had more
Aggressive.
confidence. He had, to call the plays they called.
Did you notice on the fourth down calls? He didn't call timeout. He just went for it.
Oh yeah,
He
it wasn't
didn't
even
think
close to
about
anyone.
it.
He was
He
already
just,
gone.
he just, he didn't. They didn't put his.
They didn't even
motion
surprise
him off.
Collinsworth. Oh, they snapped it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what they're supposed.
Collinsworth.
yeah. He did. He did an excellent job.
That's
Yeah.
pretty funny. All right, so moving on to the NFL draft. We all know Cleveland's going to be the #1 pick, right? Who are they going to take? The kid from, a quarterback, I would hope, and an offensive line,
Well, they
and a
have-
coach.
With Thomas, isn't Thomas retiring or isn't he?
He's
getting
thinking
ready
about
to?
it. I guess right here. Yeah.
I mean, they show signs of life, and every time I say, they're going to be a 500 football club, they go 0-16 or go 1-15.
They always make stupid picks.
It's to the point I feel sorry for them. Like that weird kid. You want to give him like a milk or something.
Yeah,
you
or
know?
a hug.
Oh yeah.
What do you
and
think?
it just
Yeah.
What do you think? Like, this coach is like 1-32. I don't even know his name in Cleveland. I mean,
Jackson.
Hugh Jackson.
yeah. Do you think that? I think Haley's setting himself up for a head
think he
coaching
is,
job.
too.
This guy loses 2 games, he's
he's
out,
out
and
of it
Haley's
already.
in, right?
Haley,
Agree,
I don't
Duane?
know
What do you
about
think?
Yeah, maybe. Haley didn't do
I'm-
very well in his other head coaching.
No, he had a really
experiences.
weird experience down in Kansas City.
Yeah, that was kind of different.
Yeah.
Although, I still can't understand, and this is where, I'm not a big Tomlin guy. I lost it when Cowher, Tomlin, the name itself just kind of irritates me. But, they get rid of Haley, so the whole reason they get rid of Haley because they move in Fiedner. And good for our area, Randy Fiedner, he's an offensive coordinator, good for him. But it's like, Haley's, his contract's up, and We lost in the playoffs to Jacksonville, and we got to get rid of the offensive coordinator.
time.
Even though we scored the most points in Pittsburgh Steeler history in playoff, no mention about Butler, who the defensive guy who
Right.
was horrible. So we got to get rid of him because he's ruining our team.
Well, I don't know what, the Haley thing was a move that was going to happen and look like regardless.
Mm-hmm.
And
well,
it's-
it was the end of his contract.
and people who were sitting there complaining about that, people complain about the locker room and different things with Pittsburgh. I mean, Eric, you hate the Steelers. I mean, how often are they sniffing around a championship every year?
The question I have, and we talked about this,
We did
worked out
talk
my
about
angle.
this.
The question I have is, why aren't they in a championship game every year? That's the question. Because they arguably have
I'll
the
tell
best
you-
receiver,
I'll tell you
the
why.
best running back, and a top 5 quarterback. I mean,
Defense.
It's defense.
Well, the other thing too is I know that Tomlin has a headset on, and Haley's making that 4th and 1 stupid pass to Juju Smith when you got a quarterback that's 17'6". You got to go a yard. If you don't have a fullback to go a yard, and Tomlin's listening to the play, and he doesn't like it, he should trumpet and say, "No, we're not going to run that play." But he keeps, unless he's listening to WDVE, what's he listening to? He didn't trump the play, and so Haley gets the heat for it.
That interception.
When somebody
It's
asked
Tomlin's team.
somebody asked if Ben actually had the ability to change that play on his own, and I don't know the answer. I don't know how Haley interacts. I know
Haley had
Tom
two
Brady
sides.
can, but I would assume he probably could change if he needed to.
Well,
right?
Big Ben is
There
such
was
a
a time though. I mean,
he
there
said-
was a time was coming. I mean, they needed to.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
He
at the
moved.
same time, listen. I mean, you're Big Ben. I mean, you can change the play if you want to.
Right,
Let's
that's
not
what-
say this whole thing. Well, the coach
That's
calls
my
the play
point.
and I just
He-
run it.
right, he threw him on
Get
the
out
ball.
of here.
Exactly.
Get out of here. And then when you said your
I'm
point
not gonna
about
have any Big Ben bashing around here. I can tell you that.
well, Big Ben and Haley were doing this
Yeah,
since
they
day
didn't like
one.
they didn't like each other.
They meshed a little bit because they got a lot of points and all
Good
that stuff.
point,
But
though.
it
That
doesn't
is a
matter.
good- that's a good point.
When you said it was inevitable, I think that's the main reason why.
That's a
it was
good
quiet.
point.
Yeah.
Because unless Ben was leaving and going to retire, he was going to end up getting out of there. I mean, they weren't going to
But
redo
they
that.
did show his QBR was 10 points higher with Haley than without. So
Yeah, but
there
he
is
doesn't.
there is some
But he
credit
doesn't
there.
like him.
That's right, he doesn't like him.
So we got to play him with kid gloves.
Yeah.
Nah, let Ben be Ben.
That's right. And they
Yeah,
always
you have to. You have to. I
Exactly.
understand that, but it still is annoying.
Yeah.
the players have they understand what's going on.
I'd rather have Ben than not have Ben in the Pittsburgh Steelers uniform.
Yeah, I mean, I could say that. I mean, you
Two-time
can,
Super
I would
Bowl
agree with that.
champion. I mean,
I
would
just think
agree with
every
that.
year you guys look at your games though, they play down to competition.
Every
Every
time.
Steeler fan says it. When they
Every
lost to the
time.
Bears, they looked terrible.
Yeah.
They looked terrible, but then they play everybody else tough and they win
Right.
those games. I mean,
Yeah.
the games they lose, I just don't understand. Those are the games I don't understand.
All right, we're wrapping up this first section here. Anything else about football before we go on to our next section? Lonnie, anything final to say? I mean, just this first section. We'll be back.
no, I just wish football would get back to being football and everybody in the media just analyzing this, analyzing that anymore.
Right.
You're talking about people starting flag tag programs. They don't want kids until they're 12 and all this sort of stuff. And why don't you make everything flag tag? Have flag tag baseball. Have flag tag wrestling. Whatever. Honest to goodness, let it be. Let it be. It's turning into a gladiatorial sport, and pretty soon all we're going to do is force minorities from poor cities to actually make this choice to play our football games. And people are so hypocritical that they've played the game themselves and say, I can't let my kid play.
I was talking to somebody today, and I don't know who it was. It was an old time, and I forget who it was. I don't know. It could have been you for all I know. But then we were saying some old time, one of the old football players were saying,
Art Donovan.
Art Donovan. Yeah, tell them the story.
I just told him that Art Donovan, remember who Art Donovan was? He's a real old football player.
I love Art Donovan.
And then one of his best quotes ever was this: "Back when I played football, we didn't have ACL."
They did. I hurt my knee.
That's why I told your dad. They didn't care. They put him back in there.
I hurt my knee. Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did.
Get in there. It's not everybody else.
You're gonna get your $12 at the end of the game.
This is a goal line stretch. ACL? What are you talking about? This isn't a union.
You remember that quote? You hear
I love
Yeah,
that quote.
That guy's
yeah.
great.
Art Donovan was fantastic.
Yeah.
I
All
just
right.
hope football goes back to being football
Yeah.
at some point. And I mean, even talking to Swicky, he's a season ticket holder. They're eliminating, parking lot tailgating. They're sanitizing things. It's just,
Jeez, oh man.
honest to God, why don't you have another Tide Pod for breakfast or something?
DJ, what do you think?
Yeah, I
you and Duane. And we'll
yeah, I
go.
mean, I'm definitely with Lon on that. I mean, let's actually have football here. I
Right.
mean, listen, we pay to watch, football. We pay to watch the hits and all that, everything like that. If you don't like it, well, then don't do it. That's my opinion.
Exactly.
If you think that this is the consequences you sign up for.
Right.
Exactly. My mother was a single mom, and they came to our ball fields when we were playing baseball to recruit kids. They came to my mom, why aren't you boys playing football? Here's my brother, 8, 9 years old. She goes, you going to fix his broken leg if it gets broken? I'm serious. She was like, hell no. And we're like, come on, moms, let us play.
Yeah.
And she finally said, okay, you can play.
Yeah.
And she said she had more fun watching that than anything that she's ever done. Yeah, I got the hell knocked out of me. I was in a hospital for 2 days with a spleen injury. I called my coach. I said, I can't come to practice. It's my spleen. He goes, what the hell's a spleen? That's the way it was. And you know what? I lived to tell my story.
Oh, boy. Let's wrap it up, dude. Final thoughts on the football stuff here.
Well, make sure you keep watching Crawford County Outdoors. And so Monday Night Football, if it goes away, or you can tune in after halftime, after Crawford County Outdoors.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's the way. All right, let's take a quick break. We'll be back. Hey, welcome back to Good Sports and Next Generation. I'm Dan Craven, your host, with a whole lot of me people in here, as my grandmother would say. My grandmother, I love that woman. Anyways, now we're going to move on to our next section. It's called True or False, or Agree or Disagree, depending on what side of the tracks you're on. So basically, this is how this works. I read a statement, and your answer is either true or false, or agree or disagree, and then you get to explain why. And then what I normally do is I take record, and at some point we come back, and if I remember, I come back in a show later and give you some of the results. Like, for example, last time we played this, one of the questions was, you knew I was going to bring this up.
You think?
One of the questions was, agree or disagree, was Mark Fleury going to not play for the Penguins and be Las Vegas the next year? Dan Craven Sr. was the only one that agreed. So I just want to let you know that this comes back to haunt you. So you got to think over your question. You just can't throw anything out there.
I don't want anything to come back and haunt me.
First question.
Does he remember any of the ones that we,
No,
totally
apparently.
nailed?
Yeah, we had like the other 9, we all nailed,
Does
he got
remember
wrong.
that? No.
That's what I lost the paperwork somewhere.
Yeah, I guess that's why he's the host, right?
Mm-hmm.
Don't remember that at all. Number 1, A. We'll start with Duane. This is an old one. This is one of my heartthrobs here. Tomlin gets fired soon. Agree or disagree?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, okay. I got to keep track now.
Don't make a note.
Okay.
He'll bring this one up.
I will, because I'll tell you what, it might be 2047. Well, Tomlin be darned when he get fired. When he does, I'm bringing it up. I started it. So Duane says no, disagree. DJ.
No, I'm with Duane. I don't think he's going to anytime soon. Soon is in relative term. I think somebody said
Good
once.
point.
I'll say no. Soon is in the next few years now.
That's why, see, when you write these questions when you're a teacher, you leave it ambiguous to get the kids screwed up. I agree. I think he's out of there soon. I don't know. Anyways, Eric, what do you think?
Unless he has a sub 500 year, I can't see it happening. So.
Yeah, I'm alone on this one. All right, what do you think, Lon?
No, unless there's some kind of player personnel problem.
Good point. Yeah.
The wins and losses won't matter. It'll be the player and the individual that is put onto the field is what the Rooneys look at. I mean, the Rooneys, being a lifelong Steeler fan, they say Tomlin's our guy. I'm like, that's my guy.
But at some point, don't you gotta say? I mean, this making it to the playoffs isn't enough. When's that next step?
Well, I mean, you think how many teams, you think 6 Super Bowls would be enough, Dan.
How many does Tomlin have?
Steer away to 7.
How many does Tomlin
We
have?
lost 2 and we've won 6.
How many does Tomlin have?
Tomlin has 2.
With what? Bill Cowher's team was 1. We don't count that one.
And he had the Arizona.
And he had the other one. Okay, so he has 1 out of the 1. And how many other times has he kind of fumbled?
If you take that one away, that's one more than about 7,000.
But how many times? I mean, so that's what I'm saying, though. You're exactly my point. The expectation for the Steelers is to get to the dance, and they're not even to the door.
I agree.
They get to the play. They lose to Jacksonville at home.
Sure, he has 2. I think he has 1.
He has 1.
That's Bill Cowher.
Bill Cowher has
He has
1.
one.
Bill Cowher has a game in Detroit against Seattle.
Right.
And
He has 1 because I've only been alive.
That's right. It is 1. Yeah.
No,
Yeah, and the one he won was Bill Cowher's team. I mean,
Yeah.
it was like Scotty Bowman and Montreal Canadiens, or like Al Arbor and the Islanders. You could go like this. Next lineup. And you can close your eyes and tap a helmet, and you're going to win a Stanley Cup.
So you put in Toe Blake or Eddie Shore and go get a cup.
Anyway, all right, moving on. This was not supposed to be a discussion part of this show, but I love it. The heating. Okay, here we go. While this show's being taped, the Pens are playing Las Vegas tonight. at the PPG. The Pens beat Las Vegas tonight. Yes or no? Agree or disagree?
I thought they were going to beat them last time they played, and they got their butts kicked.
So-
I'm guessing they're going to lose again.
You disagree. Okay, DJ.
Yeah, I was going to say they lost too as well. Now, we did see a power play goal for the Vegas Knights before we started the show, so we're already down 1-0 in my
Yeah.
so it's hard for me to. I'm going to say they're going to lose. I think Marc-Andre has a spectacular game. I'm going to say on the record, I think he's going to make probably around 40 saves.
Okay.
He has that little bluebird sitting on his shoulder when he comes back to Pittsburgh.
something like that.
right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna agree. I think they beat them tonight. I think they do. I think the fans get behind them, and anyways, I'm going on a limb, but I say
Wait a second, I got one second. Tomlin went to the Green Bay Super Bowl, didn't he? Was that Tomlin or Cowher?
He lost that.
He
Yeah, he
lost.
lost
That's
that
the one he
one.
lost.
Yeah, he
Okay,
went
so
to
he's
two,
been
but
Super
yeah.
Bowls.
Yeah.
All right. I had to clear things out in my mind.
Next
I'm
question.
fine now.
We're moving on,
I'm
Lon.
okay now.
Put it behind you, son. All right, Eric. What do you think? They beat
I'm
them?
going to say this: the Penguins win in a shootout.
There you go, Duane or Lon.
Um,
And you can have it. Yeah, they beat Vegas tonight at the PPG.
I say it's 4-1 Penguins. They're dominating right now as we speak.
You probably looked it up in the break.
No.
Here we go. I'm telling you, these are random questions. Tiger Woods makes the cut at the Masters. Start with you. He makes the cut. He's playing Saturday and Sunday.
he's gonna be
this April at
He's
Augusta.
going to be in the field.
He makes the cut.
He makes first 2 rounds.
So no, he makes the cut. He doesn't make the cut in your mind. You disagree.
2 rounds.
Lon disagrees. Eric, you golf or you anything about golf?
I think he makes the cut. Yeah.
I don't think he does.
For the final day, you mean?
No, the cut. He's got to play Saturday.
Yeah, play Saturday and Sunday. You.
Oh, he'll make the cut.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
he'll make. You know,
He's confused by this. Yes. He won- yes.
Regardless, he'll get a sponsorship exemption. He'll get an exemption.
You're still trying to
anyway.
give Tomlin 2 Super Bowl wins.
He'll be there regardless.
Yeah,
If
he'll
he's
be
able to
there.
Play.
He just wants to know if he's going to make the weekend, though. He's
That's
gonna
what he
make
wants
the
to know.
cut.
Make the cut or not.
For all your golfing fans out there, just it's okay. We're going to get through this. So
Stick-
you're saying
stick
he's
with
going to
it.
play Saturday and Sunday.
No,
So it's a no.
Then he
No.
doesn't make the cut.
no.
Okay. That's what we said.
Leave me alone, man.
Deeds, does he make the cut?
I think the odds are that he is not going to make the cut, but I will say that he will. I'll go against the
Ah,
odds.
boy.
Switching things up a little bit.
I
I
like
like
I'll
it.
go against the
it. That
odds.
takes courage. You're a hero.
Somebody's got to be.
I think his time's passed. I don't think so.
You don't think he makes it? Okay, you disagree. Okay, here we go. This is a tough one, and this is from my buddy Duane.
Mm-hmm.
The red coyote will become protected at some point in our lifetime. The red coyote. We'll start with you.
No.
No. Okay.
kinda
Duane
like a-
disagrees.
Yeah.
No.
What do you think, Deej?
I didn't even know there was a red coyote, to be
Yeah.
honest with you. So
You're saying yes or no?
I don't think. No, I'll go with the expert.
I'm saying yes.
Yeah.
And the reason I said that is because I saw it on my phone. Next.
The last coyote I watched was Wile E. Coyote, but I'll go with the red coyote and say that it will not be
I
protected.
don't know. Dwayne can tell you. A lot of folks can tell you,
There you
especially in
go.
our
Everybody-
outlying areas. They're very destructive.
I'm
Very elusive.
I'm alone on this one.
Yeah. So I'm gonna say no.
I saw one the other day.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, starting on this side of the room. Lindsey Vaughn will get another injury this year at the Olympics. She's going to hurt something.
Now listen, everybody they hype up, okay, for
What?
the Olympics, like the Dan and everybody else.
Oh yeah.
The skateboarders, Boo
Yeah.
Hendricks and Lindsey Vaughn is she's coming back from a knee injury, a lot of several.
Yeah.
She's going up against some of the world's finest here
Right.
in South Korea. The chance of her having another, it's awful to say that.
I'm not wishing her. I'm just saying.
I don't want her to have another injury.
I don't either. I'm just saying, is she going to get hurt? I mean, this girl is all out. You ever see that? She does that downhill thing.
Oh, yeah.
That's
know,
crazy.
I know, but I wish
100%.
we would celebrate after people won something rather than before.
So you're reneging?
No, I don't know. I can't wait for the Olympics to start.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, so I'm saying no, she's not going to have another injury.
Good.
And I want her to win the gold medal
Gets another
and
injury.
not go to the White House because that's something that she doesn't want to do. She'll show him.
That's hilarious. How what do you think? Yes, no.
I'm gonna go no, barring any Tanya Harding sightings. I think no.
No.
Right? Okay.
Harding.
Tanya Harding on the slopes. Who the hell is that? Is that Jeff Galooly?
Yeah.
Get him off that slope.
Where?
I just think that
With a bat.
this is a competitor that she is, and she might be in a predicament where
She's
she
very
has to.
competitive.
She has to put the pedal to the metal. That I think something's gonna.
I know that falls with the Tiger.
I'm gonna say yeah, she's gonna get hurt.
Yeah, I know.
somewhere.
Yeah, follow up with the Tiger.
Now don't call in. I'm just making it. I don't want her to get hurt.
Yeah, certainly. I don't want to get her.
No.
I watched her on the Bear Grylls thing. I don't know if anybody else caught that. That was a pretty good episode. You can tell she's a competitor. She's a fighter. She wouldn't want any help from him at all. I agree with you. I think she's going to push it too hard again. I think it's, what is this, the third, fourth time? I agree.
Yeah, you go for it or you don't. I mean, look at Eric Heiden.
What was the male downhill skier? Was it Bodie Miller? Was that his name? He was in like 5
Bodie,
Olympics.
yeah.
wasn't
Bodie
Brody,
Miller.
Brody,
Yeah, that's
yeah.
her name.
Brody, yeah.
I'm guessing
That's a
she's going to
stage
do
name,
all right.
Yeah.
I think she'll be all right.
Good.
She's this would be her 4th time, maybe something like that.
Yeah, it's got to be close. I mean, it's at least her third
That
Olympics.
one particular event, even though it looks crazy, I think the
It's a giant- it's like-
experienced athletes can do that without hurting themselves. I think.
Yeah. Well,
I can't.
I think it all depends on
I
the
give her all
weather.
the props in the world for doing that.
it all depends on the weather. As you get a little icy, right in the snow fence. Letter F. See, I didn't go with numbers this year because I think some of you kids at home need to learn that they're a letter. You can list things with letters. Letter F. The Pittsburgh Pirates will miss the postseason. I'm starting. Yes. I agree. They're going to miss the postseason.
Nothing like
Well,
that.
going out on a limb there, huh?
Yeah, right.
Wow.
Did you? Huh? Hold on. You're
Go ahead.
bucko. Yeah, we're going to save it for you at the end.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I don't think there's a chance, huh?
Yeah, that's what I'm
Well, you,
saying.
you have a wins prediction with this too? I'd like to hear those. It's going to be interesting.
The wins. Well, we can maybe get that.
Hopefully over Baker doesn't.
Yeah, Duane, what do you think?
All the guys they traded the good well-known guys for ones I never heard of, and don't know anything about them. So I'd say probably not.
Oh boy, that's 3 A's right now. Triple A. Eric, what do you think?
I'm.
Who's your favorite baseball team?
Oh, I love the Pirates.
Well, then you should know.
And I had season tickets up until last year, and then
No
they started to. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think that they'll be sub 500, maybe 70 wins, and somewhere near the end they'll throw Bob Nutty in the river. That's my guess.
So they're not going to make the
No,
playoffs.
no.
That's
No.
4 A's. You're saying no too?
I hated to see McCutcheon go. That hurt.
McKetchup. Yeah, he was.
When a guy you have a role model in your community and in a clubhouse like that, that's tough.
Hey, where did he go? San Francisco.
Yeah.
Business wise, probably a good move.
I know.
What did they get
His
for
mom
him?
sings the national anthem, for heaven's sake.
What's that?
His mother
Yeah,
sings the
mom,
national
yeah.
anthem.
I know.
They said,
And I'll
"Oh,
tell you
hey."
what, you
but
watch. He's going to
here's-
go to San Francisco like Barry Bonds. His head's going to get bigger. He's going to grow 6
Gonna
shirts
bulk
up.
up, yeah.
I'm not on steroids. Your
Here's the deal
head
with the
got
Buccos.
bigger.
After they traded away Neil Walker for the perennial Cy Young Award winner niece, that they picked up there, that left-hander who was awful. They get Joe Musgrove from from Houston, and I don't know who their bag of donuts they got. That part of it, yeah, there might be some deep prospects there, but look at what they got coming back on the field aside from Jung Kong, who apparently can't drive not drunk in Korea. But they are getting back, Starling Marte, Polanka. They've got Josh Bell. They've finally got power now that they can put in that left-handed slot to mix up that lineup. Now, they've got a couple other young kids in the infield. Let me tell you what, I like the Pirates. They're in a tough division again. Look at Milwaukee spending millions of dollars. Milwaukee went after it. Well, you got to with the Cubs,
Yeah.
Cardinals.
Yeah, right. It's tough.
Cincinnati's even putting young teams, they're letting their pitchers pitch last year. Mark Morris, Cincinnati's going to make a jump. They let those young arms go out there and work it last year. Win, lose, or draw. They got them the time on the field, and that's huge.
Yeah.
So the Pirates, they're in one of the best divisions in Major League Baseball.
Kind of like the Penguins. I think they're in the toughest,
Kind of
Yeah,
like the
tough
Penguins.
toughest
division,
division in hockey.
But I think the Pirates can be a 500 club, and they could sniff around for wild card. So, like I said, it all depends if Ray Searage can do his miracles with the pitchers, and like
I don't know about the yes or
Mr. Miyagi.
I don't think he knows.
I think he answered it.
Yeah, he did earlier. Okay, back to the New England Patriots. This is a tough one. Letter J.
That was a roundabout answer.
Yeah. All right, we'll start with Duane.
Oh, God, don't
When
start
it-
over there.
When it all happens, this is going to happen. Belichick leaves before Tom Brady, New England Patriots. So he's gone before Brady's gone.
I don't think so. I
You don't
I
think
think
so?
Brady's going to go first.
Okay, you disagree.
I'm going to disagree as well. I think that, I obviously, halfway predicted it earlier, but yeah, I think
Yeah.
Belichick's not going anywhere.
I disagree too. What do you think?
I think that's that's spot on. He's going to stay. I think he's going to try and find a second and third round or sixth round gem this year, and maybe build him back up. Yeah, from Michigan, and maybe start fresh. But I think Tom's got 2 more years.
That's right.
I don't know. I think you see him win one more Super Bowl. You might see a guy like him slide to the Giants. He wants to coach. He said that.
Yeah,
the Giants
true.
would be a team that he wants to go
Who
to.
you talking about? You think?
Belichick wants to coach the Giants.
I think that I think it's a package deal. With that team in New England. I really do.
So who goes first?
I think they go at the same time. To be perfectly honest with you.
God, he doesn't pick AU. I can tell you.
The
Can I say-
rules,
can I
the
say
rules
a
of the
tie?
game.
Okay.
The rules of the game are.
Tom Brady.
Gee,
And then 5 minutes later, Belichick's
you
going to go,
disagree?
okay, I quit too.
All righty.
That's what he'll say. Yeah.
All right, we're gonna skip
I'm on to
that.
retirement.
My
All
reason
right.
for leaving, they have better coupons.
All right, we're gonna skip that one. All right, here we go. The price of a fishing license and a trout stamp will go up in Pennsylvania in the year 2018. Agree or disagree?
Start with Lon. Now.
Start
He's
with
the
Lon.
fishing
Let me
expert.
tell you what, since the proposed offer, charging people $25 a person for state police coverage that most people already pay in their taxes, I can guarantee a trout stamp's going to be like pulling a golden ticket from your ass now. It's getting so expensive. Where is they going to find the money to do all these happy things they want to do?
So you
It's
agree?
ridiculous.
You agree?
I agree. It's going to be up exponentially. In fact, you won't even be allowed to say trial without paying a $5 fee.
You've said it 3 times now, Lon, so that's,
That's
what,
$15.
$15.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
But it's not trout season yet.
Yeah, I
All
know.
right.
Oh.
Okay, we got a couple more minutes here. What do you think?
I think the Fish Commission has a terrible retirement issue when it comes to state funded, so it's certainly going to go up one way or the other. So.
No kidding.
All right, DJ,
Inflation, it's going up.
Dwayne.
It's politics. It's going up.
All right, I'll tell you what. Right now, we're gonna close the book on this. We got 5 minutes, so now we're gonna go to the final comments. You can say whatever you want within reason. So we're gonna start with me, and then we'll just kind of go from there. I just want to say I had the luxury to watch Penn State beat Ohio State in wrestling 19-18 this past weekend then they end up winning the Big Ten. Ohio State jumped out to a 10-0 lead. Their lightweights got way out ahead of everybody, and the match came down to the wrestler, the heavyweight from Penn State, had to wrestle this Snyder guy from Ohio State, who's like the best person in the planet. He's like an Olympic gold medalist, and all he had to do was he had to not win. He just not had to lose by 8. If the point was such that if this Snyder would have tech faulted him or a major faulted him, he would have got enough points or pinned him, Ohio State would have won. So this kid went out and was halfway decently aggressive, and he ended up losing by like 4 points, but Penn State won by 1 and ended up winning the Big Ten championship. And I'll tell you what, it was a great match. So it was kudos to Penn State and Ohio State. I feel really bad. Deej, let's go to you.
Yeah, I mean, I got 2 quick things. We talked a little bit about the Penguins, but really excited to see how the Penguins finish out the rest of the season here. I mean, obviously,
Yeah.
2-time defending Stanley Cup champs here. We'll see if they can do it again. I mean, get some trade deadlines coming up here. See if there's magic that happens with Mr. Rutherford, and congratulations to Gino. He's on a tear right now.
Yeah.
He's had like 8 points in 3 games. Stars still got to keep playing their role. See if Crosby can turn around. And then another quick thought. Hopefully the snow is going to melt here eventually. I saw some golf this weekend. It was kind of nice to see that and the nice green grass out there. Certainly nowhere near our neck of the woods, but
Right.
looking forward to hitting that little white ball around and the definition of insanity.
Good deal. Dwayne, you got a minute?
Well, with my Crawford County Outdoors hat on, so our current episode is the viewer video episode. So we're always asking people to take a camera with you whenever you're having your favorite activity. So summer's coming up, take it fishing. Get kayaking. We've got some fun things. I think the folks will enjoy some of the things we had. Very unusual and interesting adventure kind of things.
That's a nice perspective.
So take your camera along,
I like
and
that thought.
we'll put it on. We'll put it on for your video next year.
I like it. Go ahead, Eric.
I'm gonna go local. Shout out to LaShawn Lindsay, 1,000-point
Yeah,
scorer
nice.
as a junior. If you haven't had a chance to
Wow.
watch the Meadville Bulldogs play, I mean, far be it from me, they are playing some good ball. And Friday night they got McDowell. So shout out to that whole team there. And Coach Mack, they're doing good. They look good.
Yeah, and an equal shout out to Meadville Wrestling. I've got to call a couple matches though. Those kids, I'd say young men, and and Barry's got them, feeling positive. They get into each other's matches. They're watching their teammates. It's a very nice team dichotomy that they got going there. Win, lose, or draw when they go to states or duels or whatever. Good going. I mean, nice work. And also, with all the hustle and bustle and everything that's going on in the world, it's time to tell the family to get lost and watch a little sports on TV, for goodness sakes.
I like it.
Yes.
That's a good way to close her down. Hey.
Except you, DJ. You got young children.
Not allowed to watch TV.
No.
All right, well said. With that said, I'd like to thank Lon for being on, Eric, for sure. That was nice. We're going to have to do it again sometime when maybe it's not football, could be anything else. As always, Duane Kohler, DJ, and I'm Dan Craven. So for the whole cast, crew, makeup people, the whole 9 yards, this is Dan Craven saying, see you next time.